Have you ever been hypnotized?
No.
You will do exactly as I tell you.
Movies and television have shown us hypnotists can control our minds and force us to do their evil bidding. No wonder it's been a bit slow to catch on as a medical treatment.
Good evening, everyone. To the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 341, non-stop service to Las Vegas.
Now, when most people think of Las Vegas, they think of a fantasy world. A place for visitors to break with everyday life and dance with the devil. You're surrounded by dazzling casinos, never-ending cocktails, 5-minute weddings,
Sir, you may now kiss your beautiful wife.
and extravagant productions like Cirque du Soleil. But most people don't know that Las Vegas has some pretty awesome hypnosis shows.
How's everybody doing?
Hypnotist Mark Savard invites audience members on stage to be hypnotized. Now, I always thought these shows were fake, so I decided to bring along my friend Gian to see if either one of us could get on stage and be part of the act.
Hypnosis is a natural state of consciousness. See, hypnosis lies between the awakened state and the sleep state. You actually have to pass through hypnosis on your way to sleep. But understand that hypnosis is not sleep. It's actually a level of superconsciousness where you become so focused on an idea that that idea becomes your reality. Let's begin. Breathe in real deep in your lungs. As you exhale, close your eyes.
The hypnotist verbally guides the volunteers into a state of deep relaxation.
Immediately, the weight of the bucket begins to change. You're going to feel the bucket getting heavier and heavier.
This is called induction. Interestingly, the same term we use in medicine when you go under anesthesia.
This next demonstration I'm about to show you is extremely educational. For me, certain behaviors, movements, and responses that come from the subconscious mind that I'm going to be looking for. This next demonstration is also going to be extremely entertaining for you because all of you on stage, you're going to realize on the count of 3 that you are all part of an imaginary world famous orchestra playing the instrument of your choice. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, make some noise, and welcome your world famous orchestra. Here they go, 1, 2, and 3. Take it away. Begin playing those instruments.
While our orchestra serenades the audience, Mark Savard dismisses those he feels aren't under deeply enough. And right off the bat, my friend Gian gets the boot. Oh man, I am so totally feeling this. I'm like totally hypnotized. Or not.
Excellent. All the rest of you breathing again. Let your bodies physically collapse and sleep even deeper right there.
According to Mark Savard, the handful of remaining volunteers are now in the conscious but trance-like state known as hypnosis.
So heavy, so tired, so restful, and so very, very relaxed.
The specifics of what goes on in someone's mind under hypnosis is unknown, but if you had to describe the people in these shows in one word, mesmerized would probably do the trick. And this guy, a German physician born in 1734, would surely be proud. His name? Franz Mesmer. Although people have been entering trances for thousands of years, it was Dr. Mesmer who first tried to explain this zombie-like state with his theory of animal magnetism. Practitioners could supposedly cure subjects with an invisible magnetic force. Mesmerism was studied by all sorts of famous types. Benjamin Franklin, Dr. Joseph Guillotine, and even King Louis XVI. You know, the guy who famously lost his head to the guillotine? Eventually it was decided that while mesmerism seemed real, it had nothing to do with magnetism. So in the late 1800s, they started calling it hypnotism instead, and we've been fascinated by it ever since. For instance, how can a hypnotist say something like this to a person under hypnosis?
The person I'm touching right now, whenever I shake your hand like this, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 30. You are so in love. But when I let go, that feeling goes away.
Then after waking them up, have them react like this.
Who'd you bring with you?
All my friends.
Your friends?
Friends, yeah.
Just girlfriends. Where's your husband?
He's at home.
He's at home. All right, watching the kids. What happens in Vegas?
Stays in Vegas?
And this?
Kimberly's up next.
The people I saw on this stage weren't drunk and still became crazy, loose, and uninhibited. What is really going on here? If you should ever decide to venture off the Strip, the first thing you'll notice is just how vacant and vast suburban sprawl can be. And out in the middle of a nameless strip mall, you'll find an eye-catching restaurant said to be the home of the old mobsters of early Las Vegas. Kapos is the kind of place where Bugsy Siegel, the mobster who built the Flamingo, would feel right at home.
It's actually one of my favorite places to come. A lot of entertainer friends come here. When you're eating, you almost feel like somebody's going to blast the doors open with a Tommy gun. And
don't let anybody go to the bathrooms.
Mark Savart's show has been running in Vegas for a decade, and by his own count, he's hypnotized over 25,000 people.
So I went to school for respiratory therapy.
You did, really? You know, so I'm an anesthesiologist and critical care doctor.
I'm also an anesthesiologist. I put people to sleep too.
I know, that's one of the things but actually, you know, it's really interesting. You know, I feel like I almost hypnotize people before I give them any meds. What you say makes all the difference.
Well, no different than a dog and an owner. The dog responds better to tone, or really only to tone, and not to the words that are being said. Same thing's happening with hypnosis.
What's the difference between the entertainment aspect of it and the hypnotherapy? Are they the same? Are they different?
They're different and complement each other.
Yeah.
I mean, when I go do shows, people see somebody doing something silly on stage and they say, oh, well, if they can make them do that, maybe they can help me stop smoking, or maybe they can help me stop biting my nails. There's a natural progression into that it falls into place. They're like, oh, if they can do that, maybe they can help me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now, pole dancing in public is one thing, but can hypnosis help someone with a real problem? I want to know more, and to find out, I selected my own subjects to put them through a little experiment to see if hypnotism really works. But to conduct it, I'll need to take another trip off the Strip.
It's got a different flavor to the Strip, you know?
Flavor is the perfect word.
On Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas, my friend Scott, who works nearby, gave us the grand tour.
Yeah, Fremont Street, I mean, that goes back to like the early 1900s.
yeah,
The first casino where we started out opened in 1906.
The Hotel Nevada, as it was called then, had poker tables, steam heat, and the first telephone in Las Vegas. Its number was 1. But as the city grew around it, competition from flashier mob-run casinos out on the Strip siphoned off business. And by the 1980s, Fremont Street was in bad shape. Then, in a stroke of urban renewal genius, Fremont was made pedestrian only, covered with a neon canopy, and 100 feet above the gambler's head, they put in a 5-block-long zip line called Slotzilla.
Woohoo! We're going now, baby.
Fremont Street was back.
So let's go look over here.
We all took the elevator to the roof of a 5-story parking structure for a better view, because I knew there would be a problem.
I think I've always been afraid of heights.
What do you know?
I'm thinking back to when I was younger, what my moment was that made me scared of heights. I don't want to use the word deathly afraid, but I was pretty scared of roller coasters, so I was the only one, like, kind of, waiting for my friends at the bottom.
But here it is.
Oh my God.
Nobody's denying that it's a feat of engineering.
Acrophobia, or as most people know it, an abnormal fear of heights. I mean, most of us have a bit of it, but for Gian and Scott, it's a real problem.
So even the idea of going on that just makes you really anxious?
Oh, I don't even think about going on it. No,
even the idea
it's
of
not
thinking
gonna happen.
about...
No,
yeah,
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's not going to happen, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
So that one,
Wait, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so that one looks like it'd be much more fun. That's like flying.
Oh my gosh.
that caused me anxiety.
That one does? Just the idea of those two cause anxiety.
Yeah. I actually promote the thing, so it feels like I'm being disingenuous when I talk about how great it is, because to me it's very daunting.
So the plan was simple. Force Gian and Scott up the elevator so we could see how scared they really are. Then, after a session of hypnotherapy with Mark Savard, we could see if they overcome their fear and ride the zip line.
Can you go look at the elevator?
We'll both hold your hand.
Yeah,
well, I
come on.
won't.
Let's all hold our hands together like we're,
No.
and Laverne and Shirley. Huh? Come on, you got it. You can do it. No.
Wait, I just need to see how high it is again.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. It's just like an elevator.
It's
You
closed
can't
in,
really see it.
basically. You can barely see it.
I know it's closed in.
Usually I focus
I'm
on the spot.
claustrophobic too. I'm claustrophobic.
Oh, really? Oh, two phobias in one? Here, take my spot.
Oh, he's just gave you his spot.
I might actually take it on the other side, because that's...
Come on inside. Come on. That's fine. All right, perfect. One, we're gonna go.
Hold on.
That's only the outer door. No problem. Take your time. I'm so glad you're here, because my hands are shaking, but nobody's going to notice because you're here. This has always been a problem for me.
When that elevator door closed, I just thought about how much I regretted doing this.
Up to the top. Yep. Right up to 5. You guys can look around. Yeah, we're just we're not going on the...
I was focusing on, oh my gosh, when this elevator door opens, what am I gonna do? I was pretty scared, and I was lightheaded. And in my head, I was running a lot of scenarios. Okay, they're gonna make me get on this. How am I gonna fight it off? I can't get out. I don't think I could get out. I was lightheaded, and the only thing that was going in my head was, don't look down, just look straight ahead, because I didn't want to see how far up from the ground we were.
You did awesome.
I think my makeup is running.
You guys want to go look and check out what the ride is? Can you look at the ride?
No.
I mean, not to go on it, just to look. Yeah, look, I mean, you can't see it from here.
I will not. No.
Gian has decided she's not taking another step. But if she thinks she's about to die, she clearly wants to look good doing it.
Let's go look over here.
No, I'm good right here. I'm not moving.
Ironically, Scott, who works for the company that owns Slotzilla, is so afraid of heights, he can't even ride the zip line he promotes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the point where I say
This is
that's
the-
the
this is
extent
the-
of it. Because I sometimes doing my job, I'll stand right here, I'll take a picture and get the hell down.
For him, it actually affects his day-to-day life.
I have a fear of falling to my death, and that applies to planes. I'm really uncomfortable with skyscraper towers.
Now, we may find their fear funny, but they don't.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, and I don't remember what might have caused it when I was younger. I don't always feel comfortable in my skin. I feel awkward. So I think at some point I decided, if I'm in a precarious place, I'm awkward, and I'm likely to do something that will result in my death.
This is as far as you could go, huh? Holding on to the sides. You think you could go just take a look right to where Scott's at?
I'm sure I can.
Let's do it.
I
If you're
just
sure you can,
I
let's
just
do it.
feel a little bit dizzy right now. Like
So, like,
I'm concerned for my health.
okay.
So
That sounds like a lot of BS. But you're anxious. Yeah.
well, he's waiting for us, so we should go.
Okay. All right, let's go back down.
Scott and Gian will undergo hypnotherapy, then we'll try this elevator again. Hopefully, it will help them deal with their fear of heights.
I sweat thinking about this at my desk in a cubicle where nothing can happen. I have that same kind of, I start to feel that anxiety.
So you really are scared, or you're not a part of this whole thing?
No, I'm horrified.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm absolutely sure. I think we're together in this dislike of this. And the way I avoid it is, like you said, don't do it. I would never do it, so it's not a problem. It's only a problem when I've gone to an amusement park, and the person I'm with will say, if you don't ride this thing, our relationship is over.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, have fun like meeting new people, because that's kind of pressure doesn't work with me. I'm not going to do it.
It sometimes makes it difficult because people take the hypnotherapy side less seriously because of what they've seen at this.
From a fear of falling to a fear of failing, hypnotherapist Elliot Rowe calls himself a mind coach.
In the last 6 weeks, my clients have won over $12 million.
Yep, that's what he said. His clients earned over $12 million playing professional poker in the last few weeks.
What is the key point today that you need to focus on throughout today's poker session?
Discipline.
Excellent.
Poker pro Matt Berkey is using hypnotherapy to gain a competitive edge.
And how does that feel, being able to use that information?
It just allows me to capitalize on my opponent's mistakes.
Elliot has taken Matt through the same process of induction, like the one we saw on stage. While stage hypnosis is meant to entertain, clinical hypnotherapy is meant to treat and change the subconscious.
There's definitely an element of psychology. It's a people game, right?
Yeah.
So you're interacting, you're exchanging glares. There's a lot that goes on that is a sub-level to the actual game itself. Just like anything else, you want to be the top of your field. You have to be pretty self-aware, and that's not the easiest thing to do on your own. That's more where I reached out to Elliot, like understanding like self-sabotage and just not being prepared for big moments.
So Elliot, when he comes up to you and says, hey, I'm self-sabotaging myself, what do you do? Like, how do you approach it?
So I work with poker players, I work with professional fighters, I work with stockbrokers, I work with snowboarders. So a lot of the things are very high risk. This is a very good way of helping someone through that so that they can actually perform at their best without this defense mechanism coming up, which almost is a fear of failure that forces failure.
When you get to the world-class level, I mean, it's got to be like these small little...
I mean, it's just like any sport, right?
Yeah.
Like, once you start to reach the highest levels, it's a very small shift from the bottom to the top.
Oh, big uppercut! He's out cold! Rashad Evans out cold!
The Ultimate Fighting Championship and MMA fighting is the fastest growing sport in the U.S., and Las Vegas has the best training centers.
We got kids programs, fitness that's absolutely amazing, all the way up to top world-class fighters training out here.
Right.
Trainer Robert Follis, who often teams up with Mark Savard, helps fighters deal with the physical and mental demands of the sport.
I'm the fight coach, not the mental coach.
Just that change makes a difference.
And so, for me, it's all about results.
Last two fighters I worked with, one of them, we wanted to correct technique and starting and focus, starting quickly in the match, where the fighter before that had performance anxiety, would be throwing up weeks before the fight.
So having those times where we can get our fighters relaxed through doing some basic hypnosis, very quickly I was able to get results with some of my fighters that before was taking months or years to get.
I can imagine, fighting and training, there's a lot of pain.
Yeah, pain's a part of what we do. When it's a fight, there's just a different vibe and a feel to it. Like, the stakes are extremely high in this. I got the hell beat out of me. I got broken. I might be going to the hospital over this, which makes the mental game even more important. The idea of using hypnosis, mental skills training for our fighters is imperative. And it's little things that make the difference between winning championships and coming in second place.
So I guess maybe now we'll go in the ring and I can show you that I can just beat the crap out of you with my mind.
We'll go in there and have some fun.
Don't worry, I've got your mind training under control.
All right.
I'll help you.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
Let's go. You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
fine. So how would you get out of this?
If you look right there clearly at the camera and tap, that's how you get out.
Being smack in the middle of a desert, water is pretty scarce in Las Vegas, except when you're watching the show in front of the Bellagio.
I'm blinded by the lights. On the Vegas Strip, I'm not at home. Lights bouncing off these stones. Yeah, Voltron just fall.
But Vegas hasn't always been so dry. A few miles north of the Strip and a century back in time was the original water show, the Las Vegas Springs. A natural oasis where water breaks through the desert floor. It was a liquid lifeline for early pioneers, and a place to see and be seen by two of these original Las Vegas showgirls. Today, the area is maintained as the Las Vegas Springs Preserve. The relaxing atmosphere of the Springs Preserve, set apart from the bustling overstimulation of the Strip, makes this place an ideal location to meet with Mandy Medford, owner of Hypnobirthing Las Vegas.
And in hypnobirthing, it's based on that philosophy that birth is a celebration of life.
Mandy teaches a drug-free birthing plan to women looking to manage the pain of childbirth in a more natural way. 3 months ago, Nicole, one of more than 550 of Mandy's clients, gave birth to her first child, Christian.
We teach 3 breathing techniques. One that brings you into hypnosis, and also one that you'd use in between labor surges or contractions. Teach another one that they will use when they have surges during first phase labor.
And you had a home birth, is that right?
I feel like with hospital births, a lot of moms rely on the nurses to tell you what to do. They tell you when to breathe, they tell you when to push, they tell you how to push, and there's no really learning to trust yourself as a woman.
Why are some women so scared of having a hospital birth? Well, certainly the old educational videos weren't very reassuring.
The delivery room is much like the doctor's examination room. Its main piece of furniture is the delivery table, where your baby will be born. There is a table with sterile drapes to cover your abdomen, legs, and buttocks. There will also be various sorts of anesthetics. For example, a continuous caudal anesthetic set, a saddle block anesthetic set, and there will be gas available. Finally, there will be a bassinet ready to receive your baby.
Is it just me, or does that look like a toaster oven? No wonder home births are growing in popularity.
We're not about science, we're not about anatomy, we're not really about teaching the medical side of birth. We don't really go there with everything else that clouds the mind as far as all the emergencies and horrible things that can happen.
But as a critical care physician, that's a problem. No treatment, hypnotherapy included, is without risk. That's especially true for home births where a life-saving hospital may be close, but not close enough in an emergency.
And you know how you talk like, well, we don't want to talk about the bad things that can happen. And I understand that. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that's part of the hypnosis idea,
Right.
is that you want to have an expectation that things are going to go well. And then the question is, whose responsibility is it if the patient doesn't know that it's actually not going well?
What I would tell them is...
Just talk to them, yeah.
Right, talk to your midwife, but what, like, from very kind of broad, is I would say, depending upon how long it's been since you had a cesarean, we know that, like, after 2 years, that your chances of a healthy vaginal birth go up. Like, the longer the time that passes, you have a pretty low percentage of a chance of uterine rupture.
But the result is death for your baby and death for yourself.
And it's saying you're coming from a different place than I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And that's what we tell our moms too, is like,
Yeah.
these doctors, God love them, are highly trained, very good medical professionals, and they know how to deal with emergencies.
Yeah.
I think maybe for us, it's also kind of recognizing that a healthy mom has to also be emotionally healthy as well.
Hypnosis has claimed to help even severely injured people heal faster and without addictive pain medication. Just ask Mark Savard.
It was a horrible experience. 20 after midnight on August 1st of 1996, coming back home from a show, and drunk driver swerved over center lane, full highway speed.
Mark and his passenger crawled out of the wreckage with burns, severe bruising, and numerous broken bones. Later, the wrecked car was found in the junkyard, and on the back floor were the singed remnants of Mark's book about hypnosis and healing called The Power of Suggestion. It It was a power Mark was about to put to a personal test.
At first, I thought hypnosis was some external force. You know, you got to do something or say something, and this
Right,
energy.
right.
It's not.
Right.
I mean, hypnosis, the power comes from inside the individual. Coming back home from a show, 20 after midnight on August 1st of 1996, drunk driver swerved over center lane, full highway speed. Drunk driver was killed. Vehicle started on fire. We got out before it blew up and engulfed in flames, everything destroyed. Myself and my passenger both smashed up pretty good. You know, cracked C3, broke the arch around my eye, broke the socket in around my eye orbital here. And
What happened after that?
well,
You were I mean, like, it must have been pretty traumatic.
Yeah, it was traumatic. It was a horrible experience.
Yeah.
And then about 2.5 days after this, I had a South African medical doctor, family doctor, and not really a pill-pushing type doctor. And he knew I was into hypnosis, and he had seen my shows and said, you know, I'd like to do all natural healing. So no more Percocet, no more Toradol. I want to do it all natural healing.
Last year, almost 60,000 Americans overdosed and died from opioid-based prescription drugs and heroin. Many addictions begin simply enough, with an attempt to manage chronic pain.
And they're people that you would never expect. It's not the junkie, it's the 25-year-old kid. What we're finding is that they can't get the prescription medication that they used to get. They can't get Vicodin or Oxy or anything like that. So what they do instead is they buy heroin.
Before, I have this steroid shot.
Yeah,
I had
before
a
you
pain all day long, about very painful. If
Like
I
right
move,
in your lower back.
lower back and middle, and then sometimes in the upper back.
For 7 years, Takiko has had back pain so severe she only gets a couple hours sleep each night, a bit longer if she takes the opioid-based medication prescribed by her doctor.
Do you have any ideas about what hypnotherapy is going to be like, or any of your?
I had experience, so I have no idea.
Never been hypnotized.
Tom Zegan specializes in using hypnotherapy to help clients deal with pain.
What I want you to do is I want you to take your left hand, and I just want you to look at your left hand right here.
Tom guides Takiko through a series of relaxation exercises, like the one we saw earlier on stage. And soon enough, Takiko goes under.
And deep sleep. Now as you enter into the hypnotic state, feeling more calm, feeling more relaxed. Now I want you to picture or imagine yourself in a doctor's office. And he has a new medication. It's a really strong, really powerful medication. And as she puts that medicine in your arm, you begin to see it. It's kind of a green, glowing medicine as she puts it into your arm. And it begins to flow in through your bloodstream, slowly up your arm, into your shoulder. You can just see it now, just glowing through your body. And now it begins to concentrate itself into your lower back. And it begins to just take that pain, and now it begins to dissipate, because you're not going to want to feel that pain anymore, because you know that medicine's going to work anytime you need it to work.
If this works, could it simply be the ultimate placebo effect? Certainly drug manufacturers dismiss hypnotherapy for pain control, but with America in the grips of an opioid epidemic, I think it's worth a closer look.
And eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back.
Oh, so how do you feel?
Feel light.
You feel light, yeah? So you remember everything that he said?
Yes,
Do you remember how you felt when he said it?
kind of relaxed.
Relax. How's your back feel right now?
You want to do some sit-ups, or?
It's light.
It's light. So the pain may be a little less, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
In talking with her, she said most of the pain is when she goes to sleep.
Right.
So that's going to be the important thing, is to find out if she can sleep through the night without having any pain.
I think I can help you with hypnosis.
Hypnosis.
Now you just watch this shiny object. You just relax.
Hypnosis has been used on television to fix almost everything. On Gilligan's Island, the professor cures Marianne from thinking she's Ginger. And when things naturally go wrong, hypnosis cures Gilligan from thinking he's Marianne.
I don't want to watch the ball. I don't want to watch the ball. I don't want to go to...
Can what worked for Gilligan work for Scott and Gian?
we're going up in that elevator. I looked at that operator, quite upset that he wasn't being bothered. And my first thought was, he's done this 1,000 times. He could have been nervous the first 100 times, but at some point, something overpowered that irrational fear.
You might have seen him on a good day, because that job does have its ups and downs.
Hey-o!
Scott's an outgoing, life of the party kind of guy, as long as the party is on the ground floor.
I understand a lot about airplanes. I understand a lot about this ride. I understand a lot about skyscrapers and buildings, but it doesn't feel like a rational fear. It's just a vivid imagination. And everything that I imagine is a horrible scenario.
Worry is the misuse of the imagination. You're putting so much energy into something that hasn't happened. Are you ready to do a session?
Whatever is available to me, I'm very motivated.
Since Scott was going first, Gian and I sat in to watch the session.
What I have you do is begin by breathing in real deep. Deep cleansing breath. Good. As you exhale, tension and tightness out. I want you to breathe in again and push it out this time. I'll do it with you. Good. All I want you to do is worry about physical relaxation. The oxygen coming into your body is a relaxant. Push the tension and tightness out. All right, what I want you to do now is imagine you can feel your hand get warm. I want you just to let me know by nodding your hand yes when you feel the temperature change on your hand. A little change in temperature, great. Now what I want you to do is make it cool now. Focusing on the sensation of coolness. Let me know when you can feel that change. Good. Now imagine and create that you can feel the lightness in that hand. You're gonna feel it getting lighter and lighter and lighter. It feels safe, it feels comfortable, it feels light, it feels numb. Not to worry, just let your arm relax down. Let it rest and relax down. Heavy, tired, sinking, relaxing. Let that relaxation go throughout your entire body. I'm gonna grab onto your wrist, I'm just gonna move your arm down. Let that relaxation go. Perfect. Heavy, tired. By entering this relaxation, allows your mind to be free. It allows your mind to accept and be open to ideas. As you continue to focus and concentrate, breathe in again real deep, deep in your lungs. Good, and exhale. Good, let that tightness and the tension in your shoulders go away. Let it go through your body, through your arms, right through to your tips of your toes. Good. I'm gonna have you do is go ahead and pop your eyes open. 1, 2, eyes open, and 3. Surprised yourself a little bit, didn't you? Tell me a little bit about what that was like.
There's definitely a moment of you just give yourself over to it. Mm-hmm. It's a safe place, a safe person, so.
And you can't see yourself right now, but your eyes are very, very glossy. Almost like you're smoking stuff that you shouldn't be smoking. And that's a normal physical response. When people enter that state of relaxation or state of hypnosis, that's good. Your mind responds very well with your body. There's two parts of the mind, the conscious part of the mind and the subconscious part of the mind. So right now we're having a conversation, we're 90% conscious, 10% subconscious influence. As this begins to change, and it becomes 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, the moment it happens here, this is where hypnosis happens, is that we've got more subconscious energy driving factor than we do conscious activity. How does it make you feel? Not in the moment, but afterwards.
Well, I feel weak. I feel vulnerable and out of control. It's a sense of shame for me.
Okay. I want you to find that relaxation again. Breathe in real deep. Good. And just close your eyes for a second. I want you to find that relaxation now. Now, take a moment to think of that weakness, the fear, the shame, and think of what those emotions are like inside of you. The subconscious mind, your emotional mind, your creative mind, where your personality lies, your dreaming mind. There's no rational thinking going there. So some type of intense emotion can overwrite and overrule all knowledge. Now let's go back to another time, another place where you've had those same feelings, different time, different place. Here we go. 10, getting smaller, sinking back in those emotions. Let those emotions come up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, all right, give me an idea. Are you alone or is there someone with you?
There's a lot of people.
A lot of people. Give me an idea. What's happening?
I've put someone in.
It's okay. Tell me. Go ahead.
I put someone in danger.
How so?
They were on a scaffolding.
Mm-hmm.
And I was screwing around. And I hit it.
You hit the scaffolding? Okay. And it wobbled or shook?
Yeah.
All right.
And they they used profanity to let me know that I should not be doing it.
Okay. And how old are you?
It's college age.
Okay. So 18, 20, 22, something like that.
It's a school play,
Mhm.
and
Oh, okay.
somebody's adjusting the lights.
Mhm.
And I have always felt like I risked someone's life by
Okay.
just making a joke.
Okay. Okay. And the person who was up on the scaffolding, is it a fellow classmate or a teacher or?
Yeah, somebody in the class.
All right. So take a moment now to picture that person sitting on a chair across from you. What would you say to them?
I cannot tell you how badly I feel that a stupid joke risked. It was very high. It was very high, and it was very stupid.
Okay.
It was nothing that I expected would happen. He had this laser-like precision, and I think he knew exactly what he was going for, and he knew exactly how to get it. And I don't think of myself as being someone who can be hypnotized, because that has always had kind of a negative connotation to me. But now I realize, why would you not take advantage of anything that will help?
Are you ready to let that go?
Yeah.
So let's go ride this thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. I love it. Let's do it. So let's go ride this thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Scott seems ready to go, but Gian isn't sold.
I'm wondering if it really cured his fear of heights.
Do you feel like that maybe you have a story inside of you don't know about?
I'm sure there's something that
Uh-huh.
triggered my fear.
Do you want to know what that story is?
I think I'm okay right now.
So you're still kind of on the fence, huh?
I'm still kind of on the fence. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Eventually, Gian fessed up about her decision not to try hypnosis or the zip line.
I didn't want to look stupid. I was a little worried about that.
So you do not feel the same like you did even just this earlier today?
No, and I would love to. I think it's more. It would be more impressive if I were struggling against some kind of inner turmoil, but I don't. I simply don't feel it.
Matt, Scottsdale Operators Supervisor.
What's
You
up,
guys
man?
are going to be
Chris.
doing the Zoom line.
Yeah.
You guys excited?
It's a long story. How much time do you have?
All night.
Yeah, we're excited.
All right, well, let's get this thing
All
moving.
right,
All right, let's do it.
You know where I'm going to stand, right?
Yeah, do you need to
No,
stand
I'm
there?
gonna stand
You're
all
going
the
to
way
stand in
over
the
here.
back.
I don't care. I just don't have apprehension about it, and I'm not having that feeling of dread.
The fact that you're going to ride this, I'm excited for how you're going to feel after you did it. How empowering that's going to be.
You just went past the point that you would never go past. You said that this was a point he would never pass. Can you believe this? This is real.
There was no physical limitation to me standing on that ledge. Makeup! Hair! It's all completely an irrational fear. I would like to think that I could have done it myself, but in this case, I know that the assistance I got was key to that moment.
There you go. You guys are all set. How do you feel?
I need a happy word.
It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be questioned. But as long as it doesn't debilitate you.
You laugh in a tense situation. And that's okay. Because we're going to tie that laughter to that fear. Whenever you feel that anxiety and fear, you're going to laugh through it and expend that energy. You're not going to let it build in your stomach. You're not going to let it build in your hands. You're going to let it express. And you're going to release it. And you're going to turn this negative feeling into a positive feeling.
How you feeling? Right?
Great.
Nothing right for me. We're gonna have fun here. All right, there you go. Make sure that you nuts aren't caught up.
Oh my God.
Stimulation overload. I love this town.
At that time, I was thinking, what can I do to make myself look better than this guy?
When we were sitting there, I was like, okay, I have to do this. Just grow a pair and just do it.
You excited?
Yes.
Nervous?
Yes.
Don't be.
Okay.
You just saw what happened with Scott. You're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
But Gian had taken a pass on hypnotherapy, so enjoying the experience might be easier said than done.
On the elevator going up, I was distracted with the worry of, oh my gosh, I have to get on that thing. What am I gonna do?
What's your name?
Gian.
Jean, come on. I'm gonna get you harnessed up. I'm gonna make sure that you're all set.
Okay.
You just let me know if you really don't want to do it, but I think you got this.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I said I was gonna do it.
And then it happened.
Here we go. Before we get your harness, stand with your feet strong beneath you. Like strong beneath you. Together. Just breathe in real deep. Let your body sleep.
Let it rest and relax right there. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber to relax from top to bottom, sinking down deeper and deeper and deeper.
Wait. Did you see that?
Let your body sleep. Let it rest and relax right there. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber to relax from top to bottom, sinking down deeper and deeper and deeper.
You can go into hypnosis two ways. Relaxation of the nervous system or overload of the nervous system. So if someone's in some type of a shock, I can walk up to them and sleep, give them a sleep command, and they'll instantly go into hypnosis when the mind can't handle anymore.
One more time.
Stand with your feet strong beneath you. Like strong beneath you. Together. Just breathe in real deep. Let your body sleep.
Let it rest and relax right there. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber to relax from top to bottom, sinking down deeper and deeper and deeper. Every nerve, muscle, and fiber to relax from top to bottom. The power is inside of you to overcome anything that you want to. This happens to be on that checklist. You're gonna knock this out of the park because it gives you power.
When he hypnotized me, that was so unexpected. It was so different from what I expected hypnotism to be. I wasn't asleep per se. I heard everything that he said.
1, 2, eyes open and 3.
Okay, let's do this.
When I woke up, I feel rejuvenated, and I kept repeating in my head, oh my gosh, I could do this. I was hypnotized, I can do this. I'm not scared. It worked.
I was talking about overload of the nervous system and relaxation of the nervous system.
Yeah.
That was the overload of the nervous system. When the body is stressing, they'll enter that state quickly and easily. And that's all it takes. Ready to do this?
I am.
Let's kick some ass!
I can't believe I'm doing this.
You guys ready?
Yes!
All right, here we go.
When I took off,
I felt like I was flying.
I was like, this is awesome. This is so awesome. Like, dummy, what were you scared of? So, am I still afraid of heights? I'm open to it. I'm willing to get on a zip line and do it again.
Shine like a shooting star.
Looks like my poor man's experiment is complete. While this doesn't scientifically prove anything, our studies have shown that hypnosis does help many patients minimize pain, treat phobias, and control bad habits. How it works has always been a medical mystery. That might be changing. Recent neuroimaging studies have shown that there is likely something different going on in the brain while under hypnosis compared to being awake or asleep. In health, the mind can be a powerful ally or enemy. Hypnotism, with the right suggestions, does seem to put the mind in a state where it can expect better outcomes. And that's a good thing. Because in matters of health, our own expectations control us more than any hypnotist ever could.
Now sleep.